Alright, so we'll be looking at Cyrus for today and tomorrow, first through weather, and also a couple of events that we will be closely monitoring in the Atlantic over the next few days, and more that is yet to come. Off by looking at the radar, also we'll be looking at some of the outlooks as well. So looking at the radar right now, we can see some zero storms firing off across Illinois right about next hour or two, and that could make its way across northern central Illinois. We could also see some of that activity going to southern Wisconsin, of course, as we do have that Cyrus spanning into those regions. We could see some overnight activity in Wisconsin, of course. There is some variance of the guidance with that. This model is showing it up here, and another's digging it down here, say, like Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois area. This is, of course, going to be the overnight activity. We could see something move across northern Illinois as well. But, of course, one model doesn't really show that. But they do have general agreement on something building across northern Illinois during the afternoon hours, and likely seeing that line expand into Missouri and Kansas, northern Indiana, and possibly areas of Midwest, Michigan, and Ohio. But that will be from 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern Time through the evening hours. And we could see that line sink southward through time into the Ohio Valley into midnight, and then we'll see some that weekend, of course. After that, on outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, we do see two slight risk areas. One of them is across the Illinois-Wisconsin area, and the other one is across most Minnesota and surrounding areas of northwestern Wisconsin. Part of that's for tornadoes, mainly for winds and hail. We do see a potentially very large hail threat. We could potentially see some giant hailers across Midwest, specifically across Minnesota this afternoon, in the early stages of this whole weather thing. But of course, other than that, we do see a damaging wind threat across high risk areas, including the one in Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, northwest Wisconsin. We could see a few tornadoes in Minnesota, but we could also see a brief tornado or two across the surrounding areas, such as the Illinois, Wisconsin area as well. And of course, our main tornado threat will be across Minnesota this afternoon, which is highlighted by a 5% tornado threat. Now, looking ahead into tomorrow, we do have a slight risk here across northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and southwestern Michigan, and the southeast corner of Wisconsin, with a surrounding marginal risk across regions around the Midwest Great Lakes as well, including the Ohio Valley, southern plains, even into the eastern Great Lakes. Now, we don't have a tornado threat at this time here, but we do have a 15% wind risk across the high-risk area. So our main threats can be damaging winds. Of course, saw that mesoscale convective system will likely evolve, and that's where we see that's our main damaging wind threat for tomorrow's activity. We do have an isolated large hail threat across most of the areas as well that could see severe weather. Of course, also we could see that 15% slight risk expansion into at least Missouri. We could see that in the southeast Kansas even, if there's enough agreement with that. And again, that's for damaging winds. And I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere across the current slight risk area at least, we could see an enhanced risk introduction if there's enough confidence with everything as well. But of course, we'll continue to monitor that, and we'll most likely be live. We'll definitely be going live this afternoon, evening, and possibly tomorrow afternoon, evening as well. Both days for this weather. So we'll be looking at the National Hurricane Center outlooks now, because we do have quite a few areas to monitor for possible tropical cyclones across the tropical Atlantic. We do have a disturbance with a 40% chance over the next 2 days and a 70% chance over the next 5 days, where we will likely see a tropical depression with this particular disturbance as it moves westward across central tropical Atlantic. We're not going to see anything with this, most likely, as chances are on the downtrend. And of course, we're not really going to see anything with this. So at this point, it's not really a disturbance anymore, as we're most likely not going to see anything with that. But we do have potential for this one heading towards Southwest Gulf in the Northwest Caribbean, with a 20% chance of developing over the next 5 days. So that could increase in chances as well. But over here in the eastern tropical Atlantic, we do have a 20% chance for the next 5 days. We could see a tropical cyclone. Of course, we could see those trends increase as well if models do happen to show potential for this particular disturbance to develop into a tropical cyclone. So now we look at the models to see how all this goes, of course, as well as for potential tropical cyclone with some other disturbances. We will be looking at potentially something with the central tropical Atlantic invest. We could see a tropical cyclone, particularly a tropical depression, maybe even a storm, develop with this over the next few days as it meanders across central tropical Atlantic. And then we'll see that possibly become a hurricane. Of course, it'll be kind of slow. It may even stall, but of course, this is only a particular model, not really anything much to look at. But we'll do see that over the next week or so. And it could become a threat on the East Coast, but it's too early to worry about anything just yet. So do note that this is just an early warning, not really anything, and this could change, of course. So don't take things too seriously just yet, as this is about a week or two out. But I have a bad feeling about this one. It could at least be a hurricane, but I'm not really sure about any landfall threats in the U.S. this time, as of yet, and I'm not too concerned about that yet because models still need time to adjust. This one of these tropical Atlantic could briefly become a tropical storm as well, but more likely than not, it's not going to do a lot, and maybe just meander across the eastern Atlantic, perhaps as a tropical storm. But other than that, here we'll also be looking at something across southwestern Gulf as well. So we'll be monitoring two main concerns. So yeah, again, it's really important to watch the forecast for the next day or two, really week or two. Um, but of course, look at the outlooks as well, models even, just to get a heads up and stay updated to the latest of trends and everything in the models and the forecast thing. So yeah, if you did not do so already, please do consider subscribing to this channel and liking this forecast. Just help get this forecast out there. This will most likely be going live today and tomorrow for its weather. Other than that, have a good day.